back to
Zulman.
Huzur, could you kindly explain to us a revelation to Hadith Masih Maud alayhi salatu wasalam, which reads Jariullah fi Hulalil anbiyah?
Yes, sir. This revelation is directly related to the verse of the Holy Quran which says, وَإِذَا الرُّسُلُ أُقِّتَتْ. Please find out. Now that verse is evidently speaking of events of this world during the latter days. It is not speaking of events of after Qiyamah, or Yawmul Qiyamah. Then the prophets will not be uqqitat, raised again at the right time of their raising. The Yawmul Qiyamah, the phenomenon of Yawmul Qiyamah is a completely different phenomenon. But the verse here is speaking of events in this world when ar-rusul uqqitat. That means all the prophets of Allah will be raised again. In what form? Separately or in one person? This wahi of Hazrat Muslim throws an explanatory light on that verse, that all the prophets of God will reappear as a single servant of Muhammad Rasulullah. That will be Hazrat Muslim. So God addresses him as Jariullah fi Hulalil anbiyah. You are a warrior from Allah, fi Hulalil anbiyah, in the garb of all the prophets. So see, both these verses, the one verse and this revelation, are deeply connected.
Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So can I read a few preceding verses? Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Innama tu'aduna lawaqi fa idhan nujumu tumisat wa idha as-sama'u furijat wa idha al-jibalu nusifat.
Now this is not after the Qiyamah, this is before it.
فَإِذَا النُّجُومُ طُمِسَتْ وَإِذَا السَّمَاءُ فُرِجَتْ وَإِذَا الْجِبَالُ نُصِفَتْ وَإِذَا الرُّسُلُ أُقِّتَتْ لِأَيِّ يَوْمٍ أُجِّلَتْ لِيَوْمِ الْفَصْلِ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا يَوْمُ الْفَصْلِ وَيْلٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُكَذِّبِينَ.
The time will come to decide between the truth of Islam and the rest of the religions, when the righteous will be divided from the unrighteous. So that is Yawmul Fasl. And all these events, all these signs will not appear after man is raised again in during the Yawmul Qiyamah. The events of this earth, before the Qiyamah will ever take place, much before that. So these events are addressing a time when Islam will be decided to be made victorious over all religions. And as Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been described by the Holy Quran as Khatam an-Nabiyyin, the seal and the master of all prophets. Now that is just a claim. How will the world know that he is the master of all prophets? In two ways. In the latter days, when Al-Imam al-Mahdi would appear from God, he will wear the garbs of all these prophets of Allah and claim himself to be a servant of Muhammad Rasulullah. He would say, I have reappeared, or I have appeared, not reappeared, I have appeared, combining in me all the prophets of Allah who were prophesied variously to reappear during the latter days. You see, various prophets were prophesied by their own divine books to reappear during the latter days to usher in an age of victory of religion over non-religious things, people. Krishna had promised that he would come again, Buddha had promised, Jesus had promised, so other prophets of Allah had promised to come again. Will they come separately, or will they appear as a single person representing God? And will they bring their own older faith with them, or will they join the faith of Islam and reappear under Islam as representative of Islam in one person, not in so many persons? These are the important questions which have to be addressed. And that is why I emphasize the role of this prophecy, the Quranic verse, and the revelation of Masih, that they are profoundly connected with each other. And the message they deliver is simply this, that whoever would be chosen as servant of Muhammad, he would become also the master of all the religions. So in his person, all the religious leaders of the whole world would pay obedience or allegiance to the great master Hazrat Muhammad. This is what has been said by Hazrat Masih repeatedly in his verse and in his prose. That I, as a representative of all, have become your servant. I take pride in being so. Jesus Christ is in me, and when I submit to you, Jesus submits to you. That is the metaphorical explanation of all these things. Understand? Secondly, all the people of the various prophets would join Islam. لِيُظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ will be witnessed by all during the time of Imam al-Mahdi. What has been said by what other commentators of the Middle Ages, and it's not that I'm saying it for the first time. This claim has been made by many great scholars of Islam, that the fulfillment of لِيُظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ will occur at the time of Imam al-Mahdi or Jesus Christ. So all these things are interconnected. When the people of all religions will leave their own religions and come to Islam and pay their allegiance to Hazrat Muhammad, then that prophet of God under Muhammad, at whose hands they will convert, would become their masters, their prophet as well. So Jariullah fi Hulalil anbiyah, right?